What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with some more news. Yeah, my voice is about 2% better. By God, I sound like Patty and Selma from The Simpsons. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Bryan Danielson retires. Is Bryan Danielson returning to WWE? AEW scrap a huge debut. Former WWE champion debuts in AEW. The Rock shuts down a huge rumor. Rikishi halts a big rumor. John Cena advised against retirement, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on WrestleMania XL. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Now our first story looks at Bryan Danielson retires. Our top story today takes a look at the fallout from AEW Wrestle Dream and how former AEW World Champion Bryan Danielson has seemingly retired. Danielson would drop the AEW title to Jon Moxley at the AEW pay-per-view event last night, and as per the stipulation, Danielson will now step away from being a full-time wrestler. Fightful Select has offered some more details on the situation, and it looks to be legitimate, as Danielson will be stepping away from the ring for the time being. The wrestling legend legitimately needs neck surgery, and this isn't something that has been kept a top secret within the wrestling world, as even Danielson himself has stated as such. AEW keeping Danielson around as an attraction of sorts would be great to see, yet his health is the most important element at play here. Next up is Bryan Danielson returning to WWE. One of the key developments following Danielson's retirement last night is that Fightful Select has reported that Danielson is now technically a free agent, after not competing with a talent contract in AEW for a while. In relation to the former WWE World Champion returning to WWE, he was reportedly mentioned that he doesn't see himself heading back to the WWE. According to the report, those within AEW expect him to stick around to undertake obligations outside of the ring and to wrestle on a part-time basis. Whilst this may come as a disappointment to some fans who wanted to see Danielson back in WWE, ultimately it's his call, and he seems to be more than content with how his AEW run has gone. With that being said, a WWE Hall of Fame induction is surely on the horizon for Danielson, and this could even occur whilst he undertakes his backstage duties for AEW, that is if both parties allow it. Next up, AEW scrap a huge debut. AEW fans were eagerly anticipating the AEW debut of Bobby Lashley last night at Wrestle Dream. However, Lashley didn't appear on the show, and now we know why. According to Ibu from Wrestle Purist over on X, the Bobby Lashley return angle was delayed to allow for it to stand out, as AEW felt that they had enough big angles at Wrestle Dream and didn't want it to be lost in the shuffle. This was definitely the right call from Tony Khan and AEW. The pay-per-view was stacked last night, and Lashley deserves all the attention in the world when he eventually makes his debut. It's been rumored that the Hurt Business will be reforming in AEW, and based off of MVP's appearances on AEW programming, it looks probable that Lashley feuds with Swerve Strickland. Next up, a former WWE Tag Champion debuts in AEW. MXM Collection's third man has been revealed, and it was none other than former WWE star Rico. Rico was mostly known for his run as Billy and Chuck's manager in the Ruthless Aggression era, and even though he's been away from the limelight for a number of years, he's truly aged like wine. Prior to their match at AEW Wrestle Dream 0 Hour, Mansoor and Madden revealed that Rico would be in their corner for their match against The Acclaimed. However, despite having a former WWE Tag Champion in their corner, it didn't work out for the duo as they lost their featured matchup. It's unknown if Rico has signed a deal with AEW or if this is just a one-time only appearance. Next up, a legendary commentator staying in AEW. Resident AEW commentator Tony Schiavone has confirmed that he has no plans to leave AEW, and he plans on staying for at least another 4 or 5 years. Schiavone revealed this information during an appearance on the post-Wrestle Dream press conference, saying, "I'm personally excited that my long-time career is going to continue for at least another 4 to 5 years or so. I'm honored to be here." This is welcome news, as Schiavone continues to be a tremendous asset for AEW, and he can still bring it at such a high level. It was reported back in 2022 that Schiavone doesn't just deliver commentary for AEW, as he also wears a number of hats backstage, which include a producer role and an advisory role to talent. Next up, The Rock shuts down a huge rumor. One of the main talking points this weekend has related to the final boss, The Rock. It was reported by Dave Meltzer in the latest edition of the Wrestling Observer newsletter that The Rock wouldn't be working WrestleMania 41 next April. This came as a huge surprise, as it was expected that The Rock would either wrestle Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes on the show, or even work a triple threat match against both men. It appears that the final boss has become privy to this report, as The Rock took to Instagram to reply to a fan who questioned The Rock's WrestleMania 41 status. The Rock would simply state, "Don't believe any of that bullshit." This seems to confirm that the report from Meltzer is nonsense, and that the Great One will indeed take center stage at WrestleMania 41 next year. The Rock has been talking openly about WrestleMania 41 for the longest time, and it would be a bold move if The Rock decided that his other commitments are more important than main eventing the biggest show of the WWE's calendar year. There were rumors that The Rock would be working Survivor Series War Games next month, and these rumors predominantly came from the fact that The Rock returned at Bad Blood and looked to have an issue with Reigns, Rhodes, and Jimmy Uso. However, based on The Rock's Instagram post this weekend, The Rock is focused on 2025, and his latest post heavily implies that we won't see him on WWE programming until the new year. The Rock mentioned, "Hard to describe this reaction in the arenas when this moment takes flight. This connection with the crowd is quite a beautiful experience. I know it sounds crazy, but if you're in the arena experiencing it, this stuff gets emotional. I start to walk out there and man, I'm covered in chills. Forever grateful. It's why I always keep my Terramana backstage, the final boss of WWE 2025. Next up, Rikishi shuts down big rumors regarding Jimmy Uso. Rikishi is often hitting headlines for critiquing WWE's booking, particularly when it comes to his sons, the Usos. Rikishi recently asked fans for their prayers for Jimmy Uso, which led to concern that Jimmy wasn't doing too great. Rikishi has since rebutted any rumors related to Jimmy's health on his podcast, and Jimmy looks to be doing just fine.
God forbid I even say anything on social media. You know, everybody thought that Jimmy was in the hospital. All I said was just send a prayer for my son. That's it. As any father would give any son, you know, just pray for my son. That's it. I didn't say nothing. He was in the hospital. I didn't say, I just pray for his health. That's what I would say. Oh, the hell. I got so much slack for just a father trying to send some prayers for his boy.
Jimmy would make his grand return to WWE TV last weekend at the Bad Blood event, and Jimmy looks to be set to be a central figure on the SmackDown brand moving forward. Next up, John Cena advised against retirement. Wrestling legend John Cena is set to embark on his final WWE run next year, and whilst most names have been supportive of Cena's impending retirement, one name has advised Cena against the move. According to WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler, he's advised that Cena shouldn't retire, and he has a rather morbid reasoning for this belief. Speaking to Sportskeeda, this is what Lawler had to say. "No, I don't think anybody should ever retire. There's too many things you can do without using the word retire. When I hear about somebody retiring, I look for them to die pretty soon, so I'd never say that he's gonna retire." Cena's final WWE run is sure to be one of the most exciting time periods in recent memory, as Cena is set to work a virtually full-time WWE schedule, and there are numerous matches being rumored for Cena, ranging from a match with Gunther to a final showdown with Randy Orton. And finally, AJ Lee WWE return predicted. Our final story takes a look at recent comments from Eric Bischoff, who's predicted that AJ Lee could return to WWE programming. According to the former WCW president, he wouldn't be shocked if AJ doesn't return to WWE TV in the foreseeable future. I'll be shocked if we don't see AJ Lee return, and probably disappointed because, wow, potential story here. I mean, you could put 6 different writers in 6 different rooms and they'll come back with 6 pretty good stories, maybe some great. So yeah, why not? Are you kidding me? There were rumors that the former Divas champion could potentially return during the CM Punk vs Drew McIntyre feud, but obviously that didn't occur. Fans haven't given up hope, as it's still possible that AJ makes a cameo in the Royal Rumble match this coming February, and this may be a surefire way to generate